What if everything we thought we knew about loyalty, legacy, and the very soul of the Lakers franchise was about to shatter overnight? What if, in the face of impending twilight, the most iconic basketball dynasty was forced not by heartbreak, but by ruthless calculus to make the most earth-shaking trade in NBA history, one that could rip apart the James family, rewrite super team dynamics, and leave us all questioning what championship glory really demands? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Now, sit tight, because what I'm about to break down doesn't just dock in rumor territory, it detonates every assumption we have about the future of Lebron James, his son Bronny, and the direction of the Lakers, the Mavericks, and the Nets, all tied together in a three-team blockbuster so bold, so structurally complex, that calling it historic feels like an understatement. For years, we've celebrated the magic of Lebron James' Lakers, chapped to the dazzling highs, the crushing lows, the moment he famously flew home to bring a championship back to purple and gold. But now, with the clock relentlessly ticking toward Lebron's age 40 season, the front office is reportedly staring down a brutal truth. Can the face of the franchise still carry that championship torch? Or is sentimentality becoming the heaviest chain holding the Lakers back? And this isn't some subtle shakeup. We're talking about possibly trading away not only Lebron himself, but also his son Bronny, the first father-son duo ever to share an NBA floor. The implications reach far beyond the hardwood. Imagine what it would feel like to rip apart the very family legacy Lebron has carefully crafted his most personal dream, realized by playing alongside his son. A dream the Lakers facilitated despite skepticism about Bronny's readiness. Now, through the cold, clinical lens of championship construction, those emotions collide head-on with the brutal reality that, at the highest level, no bond is untouchable. So what exactly does this proposed trade look like? The Lakers move out Lebron and Bronny James, heading to the Mavericks, a franchise ready to throw everything on the table for one last seismic championship gamble. In return, LA pulls in a package that includes Daniel Gafford, P.J. Washington, Najee Marshall, and Caleb Martin, players whose names might not yet headline sports pages, but who'll represent a fundamental rebuild from aging star power to youthful versatility. Gafford is the defensive anchor the Lakers have been desperate for, a shot-blocking, rim-protecting presence who can finish at the rim and harmonize with, yes, Luka Doncic's playmaking wizardry. Washington brings a multifaceted forwards game, spacing the floor, locking down multiple positions, and bringing playoff experience that could steady a roster desperately lacking depth. Marshall and Martin add the kind of sturdy role-player reliability that you don't realize you need until it disappears, with sharpshooting and defensive grit sprinkled on top to balance out the Lakers' roster scale. This isn't just restocking. It's reimagining a team worn down by past glory and contingent on a 40-year-old's fading miracles. Meanwhile, Dallas is rolling the dice on aging greatness, betting that Lebron, despite any howling questions about his diminishing physical prime, still offers that intangible, playoff-tested leadership and clutch gene that could finally propel them past years of frustrating underperformance. This new Mavericks lineup, with Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and D'Angelo Russell forming a starting five dripping in talent and versatility, could rewrite the West's power map overnight. LeBron's experience and sheer basketball IQ might be the rocket fuel this team has lacked. His presence a beacon for teammates to elevate their games on the biggest stage. And adding Bronny, while possibly more symbolic than impactful right now, says loud and clear, Dallas is courting not just a star, but a legacy and emotional rallying point that could stoke pride and determination in unseen ways. But let's be honest, the Mavericks would pay a steep price in depth and future flexibility, hemorrhaging Gafford, Washington, Marshall, and Martin to make this gamble. One serious injury or sharper-than-expected decline from Lebron, and the whole house of cards could tumble. And then there's Brooklyn, the unexpected but essential piece to this jigsaw. The Nets aren't chasing glory this season, they're rebuilding, recalibrating for sustainable future success. This deal hands them the assets they crave. Young talent like Dalton connect a rookie forward with shooting touch, offensive intelligence, and a contract that keeps their books fluid, as well as vet presences in Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell, who can contribute immediately or be leveraged in future moves. Olivier Maxson's prosper complements this nurture-focused approach. presenting another slate of untapped potential for the Nets. By accumulating promising players with upside, the Nets quietly position themselves to build a resilient core that could contend without rushing or risking too much. It's the classic blueprint for rebuilding teams. Take your lumps today to rise tomorrow. But what truly sends shockwaves through the league is how this trade would reshape narratives and competitive balance. Lebron's migration to Dallas isn't just a roster move. It redefines championship odds and flips the Western Conference chessboard. Suddenly, the Mavericks leap from perennial underachievers to bona fide contenders. A seismic ripple forcing every contender to reevaluate their strategies, their rosters, their off-season plans. The Lakers gamble on youth and depth, trades immediate star power for potential sustainability, but at the cost of possibly stepping out of the contention conversation entirely. This deal would dominate headlines for months, not simply because of star intrigue, but for how it tears at the fabric of what loyalty means in modern sports. Lebron's legacy, always interwoven with triumph and heartbreak, would enter a new, complicated chapter. A title in Dallas might cement his adaptability and relentless pursuit of greatness. Failure could cast long shadows of doubt over his twilight choices. Above all, the heartbreaking father-son separation would etch itself into NBA folklore as either a necessary, yet tragic business decision or an unforgettable rupture of a once-in-a-lifetime family narrative. Financially and structurally, the deal is a masterclass in precision salary cap management. The Lakers clear a monstrous contract and gain flexibility. Dallas nets a superstar without mortgaging the future. And Brooklyn solidifies its rebuilding timeline. Everyone, on paper, benefits. This kind of highly coordinated multi-team trade signals the brutal sophistication modern NBA front offices must wield, juggled not just with an eye on today's wins, but decades-long legacies and balance sheets. It's a reminder that behind every buzzer beater and highlight reel is ruthless business that can honor history one day and rewrite it the next. The echoes of landmark trades like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's arrival or Wilt Chamberlain's tenure loom large here. This isn't just a trade. It's a pivotal moment that could define how franchises confront aging icons going forward. No player to sacred, no narrative to cherished, if the numbers point to a different future. As a lifelong Lakers fan, I can't help but feel torn between the weight of history and the cold hard facts pressing on our beloved franchise. It's a trade proposal that slams a file on the era of Lebron in purple and gold, shoves us toward an uncertain horizon, and demands we ask ourselves, is the pursuit of a championship truly worth sacrificing the greatest individual career basketball has ever seen in the tear-jerking unity of a father and son chasing dreams together? Are we witnessing the birth of a new Lakers empire built on youth and balance, or the unraveling of everything that defines Lakers' greatness? Does this daring Dallas gambit become the spark that ignites another title run, or the last desperate throw of a star past his prime? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading everyone. The story is far from over, but the questions keep coming. Listen up, Lakers Nation, because this isn't just some offseason blip. To scroll past this is the gut punch, the soul shatter, the what the hell just happened moment that could rewrite everything we thought we stood for in LA basketball. Imagine waking up tomorrow, scanning your phone, and seeing not just Lebron's name on a trade sheet, but Bronny'S to our boy, one of our own, ripped from the purple and gold nest before he even had a chance to spread his wings here. I'm talking about the ultimate betrayal, the weight of sacrifice that cuts deeper than any missed shot or blown fourth quarter. Because it's personal, it's family, Lebron came here, not just to chase a ring, but to build a legacy bigger than stats and trophies, a legacy of loyalty, of roots, of passing the torch. And now, what if loyalty is just a buzzword lost in the shuffle of cap sheets, winning percentages, and pie charts? What if the man who carried the Lakers past, present, and hope for the future is tossed out like yesterday's news because, frankly, the front office sees the aging curve as an unforgiving beast that cares little for heart? Anthony Davis is left here alone, carrying the unbearable silent burden. You want to talk pressure? Try being the sole veteran giant on a young, reshaped roster that's still trying to figure out what it means to be Lakers. AD's got to summon every ounce of dominance we know he's capable of. But can he do it without that irreplaceable presence of Bron and Lebron to share the load, to take bites out of the playoffs' fiercest defenses? And what about Austin Reeves, that gritty underdog fan favorite who makes purple and gold fans believe every night that there's heart and hustle fueling this team? Suddenly, his status feels more vital than ever, a new leader in a new era. but faced with the cold reality of a locker room in flux, rebuilding from stardom's ashes rather than building around stars. That's the emotional cost you don't hear echoed in the press releases or trade breakdowns. Behind closed doors, I'm sure there are voices of dissent, whispers of frustration between the brass genie bus, the rock who steered this ship through stormy waters, now facing a seismic shift that could redefine her legacy as much as Lebron's. And what if a billionaire with a different vision, a disruptive owner with deep pockets and even deeper ambition, is circling above all this, like a shark, ready to wrest control, ready to push the Lakers into a future untethered from the past? The classic Hollywood drama of power, pride, and ambition writ large on the brightest stage in sports. This isn't just basketball. It's the heavyweight drama that defines dynasties and tears them apart. Look back at the Showtime era of the 1980s, fast, flashy, fearless, driven by a team united as a family. Remember the early 2000s Lakers, with Shaq's dominance and Kobe's rise, where the three-peat wasn't just a run, it was a statement etched in gold. Then the 2010 championship vindication, a swaggering revenge story that doubled down on resilience and brotherhood. And don't forget the 2020 bubble title, The Triumph of Heart Over Uncertainty, a season of sacrifice and strange magic that proved the Lakers could still rise amid chaos. But since then, the fallouts, the injuries, the missed chances, the slow unraveling like an old familiar song played out of tune. This trade, as radical as it is, feels like the next verse in that song maybe is final, maybe is hopeful, but it unquestionably hits new emotional depths. The West is a storm on the horizon. As Lebron packs his bags for Dallas, the ripple effect doesn't just disturb the Lakers, we're talking a seismic shudder felt all across the conference. Will this finally crack the Warriors' grip on dominance, or will Golden State morph yet again, like a hydra, sprouting new threats to undo the Mavericks before they really get cooking? Denver watches, calculating, while Phoenix and the Clippers sharpen their knives, ready to pounce on any signs of weakness, any cracks in what was once the best rivalry in the league. And let me tell you, the Clippers, the perennial bridesmaids of LA, would love nothing more than to see the Lakers stumble right now, to snatch the city's basketball crown in a time of upheaval. The soul of the Lakers, though, that's the question no trade sheet can answer. Because what defines the purple and gold legacy isn't just rings or rivalries or stats. It's the stories, the blood, sweat, and tears of those who wore the jersey with pride and heart. It's every Nick Van Exel buzzer beater, every Derek Fisher clutch three, every Kobe moment of sheer, relentless willpower that kept us believing. No matter the offseason train wrecks or summer rebuilds that threatened to wipe away hope, this trade could signal a bold new dawn or the twilight of our era of dominance. But what if, in tearing apart the father-son tandem, the franchise tears apart its own heart? What if the new wave of youth and athleticism lacks the soul, the sheer basketball poetry that generations of Lakers fans have lived for? We preach resilience, reinvention, the fight to keep the franchise's heartbeat strong, but at what cost? What if this trade is the final season's last breath, a desperate attempt at relevancy before the sun finally sets on the Kings' reign in LA? As a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. I see a franchise at the crossroads of legacy and survival, a moment where history will judge us not just by our titles, but by our courage to face the hard truths and still dare to dream. Now, I want to hear it from you. Drop your rawest take below, every true believer in purple and gold. Because this isn't just about basketball. It's about who we are, what we stand for, and how far we're willing to go to keep the Lakers' flame burning bright, no matter the storm.